Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Valley, and today I want to show you some of the vehicle projects that I have going. I tell you what, I guess the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. Yeah, I got a problem. I have a lot more projects going than I'm able to get done. You know, it's easy to buy stuff and you just stockpile it. And you go, oh man, I'm going to need this model someday. And then it sits there, and then like 15 years later, it's still sealed in its nice little plastic wrap and everything, and you've done absolutely nothing with it. But I'm going to show you some of the projects that I have actually started. So, I don't know, got about 10 or so sitting here in front of me. 10 projects that I've actually started on. I'm not even going to count the stuff that I haven't opened yet, because that doesn't count. But here's some stuff that I've actually opened up, put it together, at least most of it put together, and just kind of run through it with you. Now, of course, this is stuff that we use in our tabletop games. It doesn't matter if you're doing role-playing games, if you're doing, a prohibition game, or you're doing a tabletop skirmish game, or even some games like bolt action and stuff like that. A lot of these models would still fit into that setting. So let's take a look at what we have first. What's up first? So this one I'm actually going to be calling done very soon. And I've bought, gosh, I tell you what, I've got about a half dozen of these kits. About a half dozen of them. And the last two are sitting right here. So there's one that I'm calling, I think this one's actually just finished tonight. I think I'm going to call this one done and put it on the shelf and just start using it, because I don't really want to work on it anymore, and I'm going to call it done. Sometimes good enough is good enough. So there's that one, and then this is the same kit here. You see this one, this is I call it the chassis, and then the body here, the fenders and stuff. So there's that one. I still have to put the wheels on this one, and then this one's going to be done. So I'm going to try and get this one done today. I'm going to try and get it done and call that one good. Now, you guys know, one of the things that I do with these is that I lower the stance a little bit and give it a slightly more aggressive stance. I think I've talked about this before with you guys. I like to lower it ever so slightly. I think it makes it look cooler. You know, it gets rid of this gap between, and here on the picture, it gets rid of this gap between the wheel and the wheel well. So I'm pushing that I replace the axle and all of the suspension underneath, so I can push that wheel up higher into the wheel well. So it is pushed all the way up to the very top, and what that means is that I get the vehicle just ever so slightly, I don't know, maybe 3/32 or so of an inch lower, and I think it just makes it look even better. So that's something that I do to all of these. And I've used this vehicle, this particular kit, I've used it for taxis and police cars and, of course, sedans here. So let's move on. What do we have next? This whole thing here, this old Ford Model T ambulance, check this out. Isn't that cool? And I tell you what, I thought it was a pretty cool little model, and I'm going to use it for some sort of like a delivery vehicle. Just delivering stuff around town in an urban setting, or even in a rural setting. It would fit into a country town or just out on a country road. So really cool little model. Of course, all of these are 1/48 scale. And that's that one. Let's see what's next. Now, this one is a relatively new project. I want to do a campaign called Manchukuo Rally or Pulp Rally. And it's going to be a race car game. It's going to be a cross-country rally campaign where you're racing from point A across country to point B. And it's going to basically take place in the China-Mongolia sort of area. So I've started collecting some race cars for that. So here's this one now. This one, again, really needs, just to be kind of finished up. It is it is molded in color, so it actually comes, in these colors. But just got to kind of mess it up a little bit, make it a little grungier, and things like that. So once again, 1/48 scale, of course. Be sure and check that one out if you can look for it on eBay or something like that. All right, so let's continue along that same line. These others are pretty much, Revell, I think, picked up these kits from Renwall. So here are a couple more, and they're not very far along, so they don't have much bragging rights here. But I got this old Cadillac Phantom and the Mercedes here. But this one's 1931, 1939. So this is the Mercedes, and I'm doing it up to be kind of a Phantom Ace sort of vehicle. His little, I don't know, roadster, speedster that he races around on through the city. And here's the Phantom, 1931 Phantom, which again is kind of painted up in the Phantom Ace colors because, I do that. I don't know about this one though. I really don't like using convertibles very often because I don't like the fact that you can't go through all the trouble of trying to make characters that could sit in there, or you just don't, or you just leave it empty, and it's just weird to me. So it's one of those things that takes me out of my suspension of disbelief, and I don't enjoy having the models on the table if you can't really see. So I don't know if you noticed, but I normally black out the windows. That's what I do. So you can't really tell if anybody's in there or not. That's what I do on nearly all of my vehicles that I can enclose and just black them out. So whether or not somebody's in there or not is simply a function of the rules. What's next? Oh, here's this little tank here. This one, I don't know. This one's pretty far along. Really early tank. I'm painting it up to again use for our Manchukuo campaign. Just a nice early tank. I really couldn't find a 1/48 scale Japanese tank that I liked in this scale. And I think this one is as nondescript. I think it was originally a Czech design, and I think it could easily be placed in a lot of different places, in a lot of different locations, and used. So working on that tank as well. Let's see, and we continue on down the road. This is a fun one, a little armored car. This is by Ace Models. This wasn't a bad model. This wasn't really very bad. Again, I just need to get the wheels on this thing and maybe just a little bit more detail work, and I would probably call that one done. Not a lot left to do on that, so hopefully I can get that done before too long. The problem is that I just have way too many projects going. In addition to, just the vehicles, and I got terrain that I'm working on, and then I got, right? You guys the same way, right? It's not just me. So I got all these vehicles that I'm working on. I got all the planes that I'm working on. I got, a half dozen different terrain projects going. And then I'm trying to design cards and character cards and, new stuff for the game and scenarios and yada, yada, yada. And it's just like, ah! My to-do list is far longer than my getting it done list right now. But, how about this one? Tell me what you guys are working on. Tell me if you guys are staying up on your projects. Check this out. I really like this Tamiya, and I also have it in 1/56 scale. This one is in 1/48, and as soon as I get the two of them a little farther along, I will, now again, look at that, basically down to getting some wheels. I kind of need to go over this cover a little bit better. Got to do the windows, things like that. So it is removable, so if I want to have something in the back there, I could do that too. Really, really cool truck. Really, this would be awesome to use even in Vice Alley or something like that to have along the dock. Just a really good cargo truck. Let's see, what do we got here? This is the same truck. This was actually probably the one that I just showed you. Because this one comes with the tarp and this one did not. This one did not come with the tarp or the cover, and this one did. So that was actually the one that I just showed you. Now, a few others, I don't necessarily have the box out here for all of them. But check this out. You see this sucker here? Who likes this right here? Look at that. Again, the wheels, and then working on just a few more details. I think there's some more hose and the ladders to put on there, but that's going to be a fire engine for us. So I figured a fire engine would be fun to have out there. I still need to get the windows painted. But yeah, that's pretty cool. And this was by Unimodels. Unimodels don't have the box sitting out here for it. And that's what this was too. Also Unimodels. You know, a 1930s something Ford pickup. This was actually a Russian pickup, but it was based on the Ford design. And again, I made the top where you could take that off and either use it with it or without it, either way. So I got to get the wheels on it, or the tires on it. I got to get the windows blacked out. A little more detail work, not a lot, but you know, enough to say that it ain't done yet. So tell me what you guys have been working on. Leave me a comment down below. What projects do you guys have going? Tell me I'm not the only one that has just way too many unfinished projects. It'll make me feel better. It'll let me sleep at night. And until next time, everybody, bye.